What's something that's illegal, but is the right thing to do? I'm not sure it's actually illegal, but you can't set up a food distribution and start feeding the homeless. There were a bunch of homeless people in a park near here. Some people came and set up a makeshift buffet and was handing out food. The police came and made them shut it down and destroyed/discarded all the food because they weren't licensed to distribute food. If we assume altruism, I can kind of see an argument to be made that being licensed helps ensure proper sanitation and standards for food preparation, and that it could create legal liability issues if someone ended up sick from eating the free food. While this is a comedy sketch, legal arguments like this happen in court all the time. With that said, I 100% believe there should be a legal way around it, even if that's an extra law that states all freely distributed food has to be placed in a special non-regulated food box that you purchase from the government. I remember years ago me and my friends going to a Krispy Kreme right before it closed. I asked the guy if they were closing, what the fuck were they going to do with the thousands of donuts still on racks right behind him, and he said we just throw them away. Made me really sad. Hotels do the same. I asked the same. Why do you throw away truckloads of food daily? Can't give it to the poor because of liability. That's actually a myth. Some sauce for that pasta? If I remember correctly, there are pretty simple ways for businesses to legally and safely donate leftover food made that day. They just don't want to go through the effort. Check out the Good Samaritan Food Donation Act. It's designed to protect people donating food. I mean, Panera states they donate all their leftover baked goods and bread every day. So yeah, there's gotta be a way. Liability may be true for some items like meat-related items. But from what I know, it's usually to prevent theft/abuse. Like when that Krispy Kreme guy makes an extra 50 donuts just so they have leftovers he can take home and or sell on the side. Yes, I knew a friend who would make a bunch of donuts then take them to his morning job the next day with a tip jar. If someone's parking meter time has expired, you are not allowed to add some coins so they don't get a ticket. My dad does this. And walks ahead of the meter maid to do it. Chuckling along the way. Absolute icon your dad is. No, he doesn't, because that's illegal, unfortunately. Yes, Steve-O did it on Jackass back in the day, in a fairy outfit cause he was the parking fairy. Police hassled him and threatened to charge him. It's a short-sighted, poorly thought-out anarchist move. Cool, you're saving a few people from getting tickets. Problem is those tickets are meant to be a deterrent against people overstaying their parking, something there is never enough of. Next time you can't find a spot, thank the asshole enablers dropping quarters into meters. Where I'm from, if you kill someone in self-defense, you'll still be charged for murder. Edit. What I mean to say, there's a high chance you can be convicted cause people are stupid. Charged isn't the same as convicted. It's reasonable to have a trial anytime someone is killed by another person in case it wasn't justified. A killing is pretty much always probable cause for indictment, but that doesn't mean they'll be convicted of murder at the trial if it's ruled a justified homicide. It usually depends on the jury. I wouldn't trust them anyway cause there's a lot of meth heads in Arkansas. So while that is mostly true, there are some exceptions. Colorado has a law generally called the Make My Day Law, which protects you from legal and civil action if you kill someone who is in your home and you reasonably believe they may hurt you. I don't know Colorado laws, but what you described is normally called the Castle Doctrine Law. The Make My Day laws are normally called that because you have no duty to retreat from any place you have a legal right to be. Sometimes the Forest Service or the National Park Service operates a controlled burn to control the risk of wildfires. Sometimes endangered plant species live in the area scheduled for controlled burn. The burn will definitely destroy the plants. It's illegal for citizens to dig up endangered wildflowers from a scheduled burn area and try to replant them somewhere safer before the burn. Federal law has no exception for this type of situation. Lawmakers just didn't consider this scenario when they wrote the statute. So if you ask a park ranger for permission, they're compelled to say no. Surely any legally competent state/nation would very quickly add it to prevent imminent and certain destruction exception after it came up as an issue the first time, no? Surely. If they're native, they probably survive the fire okay. A lot of species thrive after fire. This is why I think all laws need a 1-year, 5-year, and 10-year review, because if modern-age programming has taught me anything, it's nothing is perfect on rollout. Things need tweaked, minor fixes and adjustments that won't become obvious until the law has been enacted and applied to real-world conditions. Like one of the reasons vehicles keep getting bigger is an Obama-era regulation trying to curb emissions by limiting them to wheelbase size, so instead of reducing emissions, manufacturers are chasing the tax breaks by increasing size, which allows for more emissions. Then bigger trucks/SUVs on the road make others feel the need to get a larger vehicle to feel safe sharing the road with those behemoths. I am for reduced emissions, but the law isn't achieving that goal, actually the opposite. It needs rework to cap vehicle size and promote smaller vehicles more suitable for people's realistic needs. Ugh, legal issues are such a story. I was attacked in my house. I wore a knife on my belt. He went for the knife. I refused to be stabbed by my own knife. I stabbed him. He left. I left the knife and went to check if he was alive. He was. I was arrested for stabbing an unarmed man that attacked me in my own home because he didn't also possess a knife. Pennsylvania, you can't upgrade weaponry in any fight. You can't stab an unarmed man, you can't shoot someone with a knife. If they are there to steal, you can't hurt them at all. Castle Doctrine came into effect 1 month after my arrest. I thought that would be my saving grace. It wasn't, it just extended the line of self-defense from my front door to the edge of my yard. Still not allowed to upgrade weaponry. Still can't defend yourself in many reasonable ways. These are reasons to not live there. Agreed, it was my first offense BTW. Some guy that spends his life behind a desk seems to think he knows what's best in the face of an emergency, and convicted me to prison. Feel pretty good about this state. Got some of the biggest bullshit I've ever heard in my entire life. If you genuinely fear for your life, you should be able to take whatever steps necessary to ensure your safety and the safety of people in your protection. Please like and subscribe for more daily content.